There we go, I'm back.
Hey Hayden, how you doing?
I'm doing well enough. Hoping to finally get the stuff out.
Well, good, because you are ready to go. Hang on just one sec. Let's pull this up here. How you doing? How's your week? Did you
Uh,
work today?
no, I worked yesterday. And as
Oh,
for the week,
gotcha.
it's mostly been mosquitoes and lots of work.
Fair.
Didn't get as much done on chapter 2 as I would have wanted.
Well, the good news is feel good about the progress made. I'm just gonna get rid of this. Nothing to say to the synopsis. Good to go. It's great. It's
Perfect.
just I went and I didn't just look at the corrections. I read through the whole thing again twice, and it feels. I think it's one of the best synopses I've ever read.
Great.
Um,
I just need to put the disclosure and stuff on it then.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh,
So nothing, absolutely nothing to say there.
all the disclosure stuff is all just technical stuff you're supposed to add to the website, so people know when you're publishing and gore, sexual content, that type of shit.
Oh, great. Nice. Perfect. Just to let them know it's coming, I guess, eh?
Yeah, it's basically just a straight up warning. This book contains this stuff. If you don't like it, bugger off.
Totally fair. By the way, how's the volume and clarity on my voice? Is it okay?
I'm hearing you pretty good, but again, I
Okay,
have I have headphones on, so maybe
that helps.
that's
I don't have my mic currently on, so I'm just using the webcam's mic. So I've never used it. So I'm just curious. This is great. Anything here is blue. There's no red. So it's just in other words, just for you to look at and see what you think. Lots of beautifuls. This was great. I think the changes were even better than I thought they would be. I think that what you've done with all of these changes is you've not just potentially corrected them, but you've made the lines stronger. So I love this. The woman sputtered out blood as she violently struggled to escape, but it was as if she were bound to the monster by sturdy chains. That's great. That's fantastic. Um, this is perfect for you. I'll kill you, you fuck. The end. This is completely up to you. You can do this or not do this. Usually, when you're all capsing, which normally a person wouldn't all caps it, but Stephen King broke that rule forever ago. So having lots of capitals, because I was going to suggest you do just one exclamation mark, but he also broke that rule. You can have like I would go
but one
three.
exclamation mark is always lost if you just do it. You almost
True, but
always
yeah, you've got elongated words and all caps. You're already making your point very, very well. So you could do it or not do it. You could keep it just the way it is. I
I'll
might go,
stick with it.
yeah, keep
Yeah,
it.
I generally
Um,
just use those to emphasize volume.
yeah. The only thing I would do is do it again here with the no, because
Hmm.
I find it difficult to believe that this guy is screams louder when he's mad at the monster for killing somebody else than he is for being killed himself. So
Kidnapped. He thinks he's going to be killed.
kidnapped. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah, missed the message at the end. No comments. This is great. Good to go.
perfect.
I loved it. It was good to read it again too. It was just really, really solid. Um, the
Glad to
Julius
hear.
chapter. Let me just pull up Julius. Do I have anything here? I don't think I have much in the Julius chapter either. Um, I think you did a masterful job of that as well. So let me just pull this up. So your writing is you may well certainly in the like the top 5 students I've ever worked with in terms of seeing improvement in writing. This is fantastic, and you know that I wouldn't tell you that if it wasn't true. Um, This is great. Adjourn the Bureau of Paranormal Activity protect people. Yeah, that's better. I love that. That's strong. That feels good. Love all the changes in the hyphens. Um, and you drop this down at the bottom. I'm good.
Perfect.
Nothing. So I got through all of those. So by the time I got through all of those, I didn't get through all of the graveyard, but I think you've only got like what, a page, the first page and a half of the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
So I read all of that. So and this is great. So you see a lot of red here. So this is where we should be. Definitely more red when we're going into a new chapter. So all I'm going to do is make probably the same kinds of changes you've heard me make before, or suggestions.
Mm-hmm.
These aren't absolutely essential. Love the way you start this off. Ramona Martel followed her boyfriend Matthias as he whispered into her ear. My suggestion would be there, it's a minor thing. What is he whispering into her ear? Usually it's whispered sweet nothings, but I would say as he whispered not so sweet nothings into her ear. That is super cute. But rather than just whispered into her ear, like give us a clue as to the sort of quasi romance of this moment right off the bat. Stop it, you're awful. I'm not fucking you in a graveyard. This is great. Let's head home. Have you ever seen Michael Jackson's Thriller video?
Yes, we've actually gone over that scene a couple times on this
Yeah.
particular one.
So this is, yeah. So this is, I couldn't remember if I referenced that in the past or
You
not,
did.
but so this is suggestions. You can take it a bit. Stop it. You're awful. I'm not fucking in a graveyard. Let's head home. And I would suggest you drop the "it's creepy" here to a separate line after she
Mhm.
giggled, because then it suggests like she's giggling, but she's also genuinely feels it's creepy here. And I was looking for a bit of the scare. Generally speaking, because we go from meeting them to there's three monsters ripping him apart in less than a page, my general note will be to slow down
Mhm.
and build the scene. I don't mean you have to like have pages. I'd want at least probably a couple would
I
be my.
figured I didn't have enough there for the whatever I was going for.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's specific areas where I would recommend you consider. It sort of the bottom line here. You can see my note here. Suggestion: build towards the moment. Obviously, the key moment is where suddenly there's a monster jumping on him. Before we get there, because we don't even have half a page till we get there, I would suggest lead us to believe. I love it when horror does this. Lead us to believe these are important characters. For God's sake, you gave her a last name. That already suggests that she's going to be important.
Oh, she's
Even though
not.
no, perfect, but let us think they are. Like my suggestion would be what we have here is as a young couple screwing in a graveyard. Do not rush that. Let us believe. Oh, these okay. So these are two characters. It's very Cabin in the Woods. It's like okay, so that when the monster does come and rip him apart, we're like, oh my god, I thought they were important. So that's usually a trick that good sort of horror,
Yeah.
dark harmony horror does.
Mhm.
Make us believe they're consequential. Maybe they hear a noise. That's what I was kind of looking for was like they're goofing around, and she's like, "What's that?" Like anything at all to slowly build it. And he's reassuring her because he just wants to get in her pants. Because here's the other potentially problematic thing you have going on here, but I think you're skirting it really well. The moment we see a guy whispering, taking a woman to a graveyard, whispering in her ear that he clearly wants to bang her in the graveyard, she specifically said she's not going to do it. And he starts taking off her shirt anyway. Right there, I went, ooh, okay. And especially today, I'm definitely not going to take you down the road of being politically correct. But what you don't want to do, it's not about political correctness, is you don't want anybody in your like I would think in your readership to go, oh, where are we going here with this? The fear, the thing you want to kind of focus us on is the coming fear. I don't want to be distracted by is a perv trying to make a move on a woman she doesn't want, and all you have to do to solve it is she's totally into it, which
Mhm.
she appears to be.
Mhm.
Um, but I would put your sexy pants on, and I would get a little erotic here. I totally would. Um, Drawing from your vast sexual escapades, like just
None. So none.
but so long as we get a clear sense that he's not. I mean, I'm just advising. I'm not telling you what you have to. I'm advising you to, because you don't need to. It's an unforced error if you make it like he's doing it against her will, unless he's doing it against her will so that when the monster comes, we're like, yeah. So there is a way you can play this. There's two ways you can play this. One is that she's totally into it and it's just a sensual bang, almost bang scene that gets coitus interruptus,
Mhm.
right? Or you can make it where he is, go the opposite direction of what I'm advising and make it so that she is not like, I would totally go for that. Like, especially these days, I would flat out make this a scene where he's making moves on her and she is not consenting. Is one way you could do it. If you're like, no, this is a couple, I don't want to go there. Okay, then she's into it.
I
But
don't
either
really
way,
care either way. So
yeah. But it could be really good because if you create that discomfort, if you do the very thing I'm urging you not to do, that could work for you.
mhm.
Where
More
it's like, oh,
views.
yes, because then when he gets his just desserts, we feel, yeah, we're on the monster side, right?
And then
So
we swing back to, oh shit, they're going to eat her now.
yeah, like she doesn't get away free at all. We're like, yeah, good. The monsters, evened up the scales just before they ate her too, right? Like, um, so play with that.
Yeah.
You don't have to commit to anything right now.
Yeah. I do actually have one question for a future character, Ashley, who is going to be Julius's partner. I was wondering if I could quickly run some archetype ideas by you to get your opinion on them.
Okay.
Mostly just for like a power set I'm going for, and I'm not sure. I'm still trying to decide what I want to go for and how it could work. One option is just to give her sun-like power, like big ball, lots of heat and light powers. Incinerate shit, very loud, very noisy.
So she's Starlight from The Boys, basically.
No, more like atomic, like straight up nuclear
Okay.
fire.
Oh, fair.
Like make a little mini sun that explodes and takes out half a city block.
So she's like that. When I make these comparisons, it's okay. So
Yeah.
she's like that mega whatever force thing, whatever from Deadpool. That one, that girl that can like make like do that very thing.
Think Captain Marvel, except a lot more collateral damage.
Okay, fair, yeah.
Like she does that thing, and then everything starts burning and melting around her.
I love it.
Yeah, that's one option. The other option
Okay.
is to just go full lucky girl and just yeah. I'm not sure about that one though, because just having things happen around her to her benefit isn't as fun. It's funny, but it's not fun.
That's also
Sorry.
it's also a potential copy of Domino. The other, I think it's Deadpool. What's her name? Domino, I think.
Yeah.
She's a character who nothing bad happens to her because she's got luck. That's her superpower. Yeah. Okay, next.
Plant abilities, just plant powers, basically.
Okay.
Lots of poison ivy stuff, creating fake limbs, grass swords, big wooden mallets, clubs, that type of thing.
Okay, yeah.
Straight up rip off Superman and just go with the plain super strength and enhanced speed.
Yeah, you could do that too.
One option was shapeshifting. That was an option. Let her turn into a bear or something and just go crazy.
I like shapeshifting.
So
I like, you know what? One thing you could do, I'm just throwing this back at you with that second one. The person who, like the luck, you could go the opposite direction where she creates bad luck. She's able to create literally bad luck in everybody else's life. So her power is not that she's super lucky, that she can create bad luck in reverse. Like if you're looking for a similar power that doesn't appear to be directly sort of copying an existing well-established character.
Actually, that is copying an established character. His name's
Quell.
Oh,
is it?
He's from the Ruby series.
Okay.
Except his power is more tragic because he doesn't get to pick who it affects.
Ooh. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So that can be fun, just having straight up bad luck powers on top of like standard super strength and all that stuff.
Yeah, you could take a variation like any existing character. I'm trying to think of any existing well-established character where you could do a spin on their power. So it's kind of it's unique that way. Like imagine somebody had the power to make somebody immediately act like they were 1 year old. Like just infantilize and turn people, people behave like a baby right away. Or
I'm pretty sure those are mental powers designed to break a person's mind.
Definitely. Yeah, so maybe that's not the right. Depends, but you could play with all kinds of those. Which one are you preferential to, or do you have more?
No, the one I initially really wanted to do was the Rising Sun one because, like, that's bright, it's flashy, it's basically everything Julius hates in a partner because there's no way to even be remotely subtle about it.
Yeah, their superpower is limitless hope. Like, I'm not cynical at all. I'm upbeat and cheerful. That would be funny. Anything that you do, I love the idea that you would have somebody who was in some meaningful, visible way, a complete night and day contrast to Julius. Not totally, but like a key thing, like you're saying, right?
Yeah. Like, Julius is stealthy, he uses guns, he uses lots of potions, explosive grenades. He's very much grounded in reality. And then Ashley is very much like, female Jesus with sun powers.
Okay, hang on.
Like
I love
endless optimism and hope. Okay.
Oh,
like, 12-year-old version of good and evil.
Make her Jesus. Like, seriously, of all the people you could pick, like literally make her do the exact same. Like, she walks on water. Like, you could have all kinds of fun with
that. I think that would just be more like fly over water and like lots of healing powers and all that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Especially full on Messiah powers.
Especially she is a really hardcore Christian. You could go that route. That's hilarious. A hardcore Christian who's out stopping monsters and has Jesus powers.
Oh no, there's another guy for that. His name is Alistair, and like he's a full on like Templar from the church with like cross lightsabers.
Oh, not that though. I'm not talking warrior Jesus. I'm talking sweet, meek, and mild.
So literally Jesus. Starlight, except more destructive.
Yeah, like Starlight, but like actually Starlight. Like she say to the point Starlight where someone were to say,
episode.
"Aren't you just Starlight?" He says, "No, When I say I follow Jesus, I mean it, right? Like you could pull something off like that,
Yeah.
and then you're just waiting for her to bust loose. But it could be like Steven Universe, where it's like you keep waiting for it to be cynical, but it never is. It's just full of this beautiful messaging all the time. It's sort of the vibe I get off of that show.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
my kind of thing was kind of to have the meet in the middle. Like we start off with Julius, extremely cynical, extremely like kind of antisocial because of all his experiences, and then there's her who's on the other end of the spectrum, where she's too nice and just like cotton candy, and then they're both exposed to each other, and she's brought down to earth, and he gets like lifted up a little. Hell, even their lifespans are all the opposite. Julius technically will live forever, and she'll die in half the normal time of a human.
oh, that's perfect. The light that burns twice as bright burns out,
Yeah, she
last half.
literally has a disease that makes her 50% stronger at the cost of half of her lifespan.
Oh, and you could do it too, where she gets visibly older each time she uses it. So by the end, she's like an old woman. Like, I mean, there's all kinds of different ways you could play that. I like that. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, originally the disease just ended up with crystals forming in her bloodstream, and eventually the crystals get too big and they just start shredding her blood vessels from the inside.
Oh, nice. That's horrifying. That is, ooh, I like that.
Yep. And we go on to discover that there's entire societies of people who have this genetic disease who live completely cut off from magic because that's what's causing their body. It's basically kind of like an allergic reaction with some benefits.
Yeah.
So they live in communities like completely closed off with no magic, and she gets the choice whether to stay there and live like an actual normal life or go back to the world and die young.
I'm a big fan. I wish we saw more, but I'm glad for your sake that we don't. I'm a big fan of superheroes who always have to pay a price when they use their powers. Like, I think that's really intriguing to me. There's good examples of it. I'm surprised there aren't more.
Yeah, her powers are literally killing her, like in the long run.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
She's basically just doing drugs, straight up.
It's the opposite of Wolverine or something.
Yeah, she gets superpowers in exchange for a shorter lifespan. She'll live to like 40 and then die before she's 50.
I love this. The only thing I would do here with Matthias was tacked to the ground. Tacked to the ground is something landed on top of him.
Oh.
And then you say he screamed as the creature, and I was like, what creature? And I thought something is just vague enough that it could be as something landed on top of him as a leaf, a branch. It doesn't. I'm looking for like an adjective. One thing I might do is, Matthias, like get maybe adjectives will really help you there. Matthias suddenly found himself pinned to the ground, his whole field of vision filled with teeth. Like you can do it where you don't even have to describe the creature. You can just give us his point of view, where suddenly he's staring into the mouth of what looks like a great white shark or something scarier. And then you go into, you can describe but just something that clarifies what the something. I know you're trying to be vague so that we don't know what it is, but it's vague to the point.
I can't call it a ghoul because there's no hasn't been identified as a ghoul.
No, of course. Yeah, I would describe the weirdness of it. Get a little Lovecraftian, like tap into that and say, like, describe what he's looking at. Like, he doesn't even know what he's looking at. What he's looking at is so horrifying or absurd or unlike anything he's ever seen.
How is my description of the ghoul? Did that come out nice?
It's good. The only caveat is that every sentence starts with "it's," right? Yeah. So this is good. You're throwing a first draft in here. It's not going to be sexy the first round. The creature looked like a small feral human. That was terrifying. I love that. That's a great description.
Well, I mean, it technically is human.
Mm-hmm. So I would sort of, you'll get there, like sort of rework the description of it so it's not just 3 sentences that start with "it's." But I like where you're going. The only thing that I might change the wording of is, its gums constantly bled. Unless we're looking at it, if from his point of view, especially, certainly our point of view, he's only seeing this character in glimpses. You'd have to sort of look at something for a while to see whether or not its gums are constantly bleeding. That suggests.
Well, I wasn't really sure how to say its drool is blood red. Yeah,
you could say, drooling blood from its lacerated gums. You could do it like that. And because that's gross. He said, obviously it's the jagged teeth. I love it. Its teeth had turned into jagged points, blood drooling from its lacerated gums, or something along that line, right? And that implies constantly, because if the gums are lacerated from its own teeth, this is like It also suggests this creature must be miserable. Like I love anybody who knows how to tap into the idea that the madness of a creature is probably partly the pain of being this horrible thing.
Yeah, ghouls are a mutated form of humans, or like someone who's caught a less potent strain of vampirism. And it's basically turned them into a savage monster that's just forced to eat people in this vain attempt to keep itself functioning.
That I would love. I would love tap into what people are used to. Like the creature looked like a small feral and human, small feral human. In the few seconds Mateus had left to live, his mind raced through all the things this could be: vampire, this, that. It was somehow all of these, but he'd ever seen before. Like that kind of thing. Like, feel free to tap into well-known. It's sort of like a log line, sort of, but you're tapping into things. Is it because the audience is probably thinking vampire? Nope. Zombie? Nope. This? Nope. What is this thing then?
Mm-hmm.
And I love the idea that you leave Matthias and therefore us with nothing but horror and uncertainty as to what the fuck this thing is, right? But I also like the specificity that you have in here too. Like, it's specific enough. Small feral human. Ooh, it's like it's so goblinish. It's so impish. It's so frightening.
Mm-hmm.
So that would play with that. And then the wording of this left me a little confused because based on the wording of it, I think I see what's happening. Protect me, she screamed as she fled. But she's fleeing and he's back there. It sounds like he's back there getting killed, but she's saying protect me as she runs away.
Yeah.
Doesn't he need protection?
Well, she doesn't care at this point.
It felt odd for her to be running.
Fair, I think we're gonna turn it into like a rape scene, so it'll probably all just get edited out.
Well, and if you go all the way, like if you really go all the way with that, and I'm not saying you should, but if you go all the way with it looking like it's gonna be a rape scene where the reader's like, oh, I'm a little uncomfortable. Hopefully they're uncomfortable. I would be nervous if they were like, oh, cool, a rape scene. Let me get my popcorn, right? But if you're going down that road, then I would own it. I would go all the way with it. So fine, like she's like, get the fuck off me, Matthias, or whatever else like that. I said, get off me. And then suddenly something pulls him off of her. And she's like, oh shit. Like that's good. Where she can't get this thing off so that when the creature rips him off of her, then she's like, yeah. Then maybe she doesn't realize it's a creature. Maybe she thinks somebody is coming to rescue her.
She thinks Batman came to rescue her.
And he's like, yeah, he tried to, what the fuck? Right, like, that would be fun. Where like for a moment, she's grateful to the creature until she realizes what the fuck it is. And then she's like, oh shit. And then she's out of there. And then that's movie and novel magic.
Yeah, that's perfect.
So I take back all the avoid the rape stuff. And I would say dig into it. So that, by the way, everybody wins when you do that, and including you, because what you're saying is you are in true serial killer territory here. You're in Jason Voorhees' character, where the whole purpose of all of those 80s slashers was to punish the morally corrupt, right? So he is the morally corrupt guy. We want to see Matthias get killed. It's not that we want to get her get killed either, but once the creature has corrected the wrong, I'm okay if it kills her too.
That seems morally ambiguous, but okay.
Was I sharing any of this when I was talking to you, by the way?
Sharing what?
Was I sharing the document? Oh man, this whole time I haven't been showing you the document. Hang on. Sorry, I thought I had this on hidden. So all of those notes are here, and including that. So yeah, I might lean in it. Let me just do here.
Is it sad that I think that the rape scene will actually be easier to rate than the love scene?
Sad? No. I mean, it's not everybody's cup of tea too, and I would never want to say we write from experience, and if you haven't had a lot of experience in that, I'll never shame you for that. I mean, I don't know that I'd be able to write, that kind of thing, but before. So I like that you're leaning into that. Play to your strengths. If you're like, and even if you had a lot of experience, you still may not want to write a romantic scene. I mean, no, I totally want this to be a rape. Interrupt us, then do it. Yeah. Two options.
Also, it plays better into the whole, force the reader to go up and down emotionally.
Mm-hmm. Well, and they'll judge you. They'll judge you potentially as a writer for about a page and a half, and say, "Well, I really liked his prologue in chapter one. I hope he says, oh, he totally did that. Hayden, he's such a progressive. Is he a feminist?" That's what they'll
No.
say. And they'll say, "No, he killed her too. Oh, he's an equal opportunity feminist. Perfect." Um, yeah, no, I'm totally into that. So whispered sweet nothings or not so sweet nothings, that's funny to me, potentially. Something, it's they're all here. You're off to a good start. It's just a matter of, I think the thing always with your writing will probably tend to be, and this is great, is you get the idea down, and then we start like silly putty. We just start stretching it out and deciding what needs more attention. Great work.
Thanks. Glad to hear it.
Yeah, you're on a roll here, so
Yeah.
I'm really excited about it.
Oh, by the way, did you see Jurassic Park, the new one, yet?
So I haven't seen Jurassic Park or Thor. What did you think? Did we talk about?
We talked about how bad Jurassic Park was, but I haven't seen Thor yet. I'm waiting for my website, the site I get my shows from, to get an actual good version.
Fair. Hang on just one sec. I'm just gonna go to BPA. No, I haven't seen it. I'm gonna go see, and I haven't seen Thor yet. I'm gonna go see that with my son. Have you seen Thor?
No.
Did we talk about that?
No, we haven't. I might go and see Thor, at some point, but it's really just the question of I gotta get out of the house and go and actually see it.
The one I'm really looking forward to seeing is Nope.
Nope.
Nope, the new Jordan Peele movie, the guy that did Get Out.
I know
It looks brilliant.
I know Get Out, but I haven't seen. Oh wait, isn't that the one with the flying saucer?
Yeah, it's an alien kind of thing. Yeah.
I love the trailers just because they just went, fuck it, we're just doing a flying saucer.
Yeah. Well, and it could be, it looked like it could be, ooh, this could be good, this could not be good, but it looks like it's good.
This is rather going to be really nice, or it's going to crash horribly.
Yeah, but the reviews are all phenomenal right now. So I've just sent you the notes, so you're good to go. But great work this week, Hayden. This was a treat. It was just a bunch of home runs, so it was a pleasure to read.
Okay, I'm going to post everything on Royal Road after we're done here, and I will see you next week when hopefully I'll have a full chapter 2 ready. At least.
Okay. Sounds good, Hayden.
Will do. See you next time. Bye.
Have a great week. Bye-bye.